Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. Supply chain fintech startup Quid has raised $4.5 million in its pre-Series A round from a host of angel investors, including Piyush Jain and existing backer MintCap. Earlier in 2024, Quid had raised 5 crore rupees in its pre-seed funding round, led by MintCap Enterprises and Stone Park Capital. Joining us now to discuss this further, Subhash Gupta, the co-founder of Quid. Subhash, thank you so much for taking time out and being here with us on Startup Street. You know, you're a supply chain fintech startup, right? Can you take us through the gap that you're trying to solve for? What's on offer?
Sure. Thank you, CNBC team, for having me here, and wishing you and all the viewers a very, very happy New Year. Right.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you. See, we are actually working on tier 2 supply chain financing. So supply chain financing itself is a very, very old industry, but we are focusing largely on tier 2 supply chain financing, which is the end MSME. MSME is our borrower or a customer. So we provide the credit limits to MSME, who happens to be our borrowers, and who we work with is the large anchors. And these large anchors are B2B marketplaces, B2B e-commerce platform, the modern age large distributors. These are our anchors who have thousands and thousands of MSMEs or retailers to whom they supply the goods and services, and they further sell it to the end retailers. So we are into B2B supply chain, and we cater to tier 2 supply chain financing.
Right, to tier 2 supply chain financing. You've raised this $4.5 million from a host of angel investors, right? So if you could sort of take us through how you plan to use these funds. I know, you're going to use it towards technology and building your platform. So how do you plan to use the funds that you've raised?
Sure. Large portion of our funds is going to be used in technology. We want to make our entire platform much more scalable and flexible. So today, for an example, right from speaking to an MSME to onboard, to assign a credit limit and to disperse an MSME, it takes around 8 hours. We want to bring down that number to less than 5 minutes. The entire B2B credit cycle has to be less than 5 minutes using a lot of technologies and infrastructure, associated infrastructure. We are also going to venture into B2B payments ecosystem. And apart from that, portion of the money is also going to strengthen our NBFC operations, which requires some ground operations and the supports, which requires.
Right. So 3 key areas there that you're using the funds for, and some new ventures that you're looking at as well. But, if you could sort of tell us, you've told us the kind of customers that you serve, but what's the typical size of the loans that you give? What about NPAs? And, how does this work? What about checks in place?
Sure. Our lending check size is anywhere from 50,000 rupees to 1 CR per borrower. At this point, we are at an early stage. We have not seen many NPAs. I mean, our current NPA rate is around 1%. But this year, since we are going a little bit aggressive, we have kept a target of NPA of around 2%.
All right. And so you serve around 8,000 users and partners with over 20 major companies in the FMCG, automotive, pharmaceuticals, and agricultural industries, right? Take us through the kind of partnerships you have, and how do you plan to grow this further?
Sure. So right now, most of the partnerships we have is these with large anchors, and each anchor is having around 50,000 to 2 lakh or 3 lakh MSMEs into their platform. And we want to continue to nurture these partnerships. At this stage, we are operating largely in South India, but we want to also venture into North India and west side of the India. So we are into conversation with more than 100 partners at this point. But we want to be responsible in terms of lending, and we want to serve our current customer base first. So we will grow from here. Right now, we are serving to around 8,000 MSMEs. With the plan we have in next 2 years, we want to make this number to 5 lakh MSMEs.
Right. So you have a primary, presence in the south of India, looking to move to the north. But if you could take us through the revenues you've made so far, and what are the targets that you've set for 2025?
Sure. So by the virtue of business, right, we are a revenue generating, but we are at early revenue generating company. Right now, I think I will talk about 2025 and 26. Our primary target is to increase the dispersal rate. So today we are doing around 70 lakhs to 80 lakhs per day of loan dispersals. We want to take this number to around 20 CR per day because the credit gap in the industry which we cater to is more than 40,000 CR. And even if we serve to a sizable portion of it, it's a huge industry which we have to cater. So that's the
Right.
key target. And our net interest margins are anywhere from 7% to 11%, depends on anchor to anchor. So that's how we want to grow our business.
All right, Subhash, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We're completely out of time, but we wish you all the best on this journey going forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, moving on.